So, Freunde des gepflegten Grusels, heute mal Slay the Princess. Technisch ist das nicht das erste Mal, dass ich das anmache. Ich habe es ungefähr eine halbe Stunde gespielt und bin dann gestorben, weil man muss genau das tun, was hier steht. Slay the Princess. Das ist sie. Hoho. Schaut euch das an. Ja. Ich weiß noch nicht, was diese Story insgesamt für uns bergen wird. Aber, New Game. Man wird hier übrigens vom Erzähler selber auch angesprochen als Spieler. Es ist so eine Art Metagame wie halt Stanley Parable. Ja. Check this out. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So, und jetzt kann man hier die Story beeinflussen. Zumindest, ja, mit super viel Gelaber. Man kann sich erklären lassen. Explore, explore, explore. Man kann natürlich auch sagen, sweet, I've always wanted to offer monarch. Viva la revolution. Was lustig ist. Silently continue to the cabin. Man kann auch einfach wieder weggehen. Ja, so eine Art von Spiel ist das. So ein bisschen Choose Your Adventure meets Visual Novel. Ja, also es ist sehr, sehr, sehr ja, besonders, glaube ich. Ja, wir fragen jetzt einfach mal, warum denn?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Yeah, but how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Ja, einfach machen. Nicht so viele Fragen stellen. Das habe ich tatsächlich dann beim ersten Mal gemacht und bin da einfach mal jetzt hingegangen und gesagt, komm, let's go. Aber sie hat mich entwaffnet und dann umgebracht und das war's dann gewesen. Do you have any evidence? Ja, das habe ich auch schon mal überlegt und hier gemacht, aber er sagt dir nicht wirklich, warum. If you consider that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up. Yeah.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Ja.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Slayer. Okay. Do I get us some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Oh. Ja, kannst du that's an anderer.
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Ja. What's my prize? What's my prize, bro?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. But whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Ja, ich kann mir aber viel vorstellen, Bro. So, ja, es wird ein bisschen weniger, aber man hat hier sehr viele Möglichkeiten zu quatschen. Ja, Evidence, killing a princess seemed kind of bad. Ja.
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress?
Ehrlich.
If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Hat er auch wieder recht. Ja, das ist natürlich später mal vielleicht, aber nicht jetzt. So, und dann, okay. Maybe. Okay. Ja, nehmen wir das hier, ne?
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Okay.
Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Ja, ich will die doch nur in Sicherheit wiegen.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Beim ersten Mal habe ich natürlich Leroy Jenkins mäßig bin ich nach vorne gestürmt. Und ja, das war dann nicht so gut. Ja, wir könnten jetzt...
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin. Ja, let's go.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Ja.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Ja. Das nehme ich mal mit, ne? Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
So ist es nämlich. Und jetzt? Mehr ist ja nicht. Enter the basement. Ja, genau sowas habe ich
The
auch
door to
gemacht.
the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi. Ja, hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Ja, natürlich. So, da ist sie doch.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Moment mal. Ich muss mal hier kurz Dinge erledigen. Ja, ich versuche hier mal was auf YouTube dazu zu stellen, aber das finde ich jetzt nicht mal eben. Also, na, das ist zumindest nicht hier, wahrscheinlich in einem anderen Menü, aber ja, das suche ich im Moment nicht. Ich würde jetzt gerne noch ein bisschen spielen. Weil ich wüsste jetzt auch nicht, wo das ist. Na, da gibt es zu viele Möglichkeiten. Aber das checke ich auf jeden Fall mal aus. Ja. So, Oh, here to kill me or something. What? No way. Okay, yeah. I haven't decided yet. No. What is this?
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Just
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it, tighten your grip. Ja, letztes Mal habe ich es behalten. Ich werde jetzt einfach mal...
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clack.
Klönk.
Thank you.
Ja.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
This is pretty awkward. Relationship. Ja, ich meine, sie jetzt einfach zu retten, auch mal versuchen. Holy shit, hier ist wirklich viel. How long have we been down here?
Too long.
Uh-huh.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Okay. How would I get you out of here?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
könnte natürlich jetzt hier versuchen, ja, ganz manipulativ, ne, ihr Vertrauen zu gewinnen und dann vielleicht zack, den Dolch, den wir jetzt dann nicht mehr haben. I don't know. Also, will you tell me?
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Okay.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Oh, put to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
We've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
Das kommt drauf an.
You know why you're here.
Just let the princess be. I'm getting you out of here. Examine the chains. So, das mache ich jetzt nicht. War das ging schief. I'm going to keep you locked away down here. You can get to know each other better. Ja, das ist jetzt. Ich gehe jetzt erstmal auf das Schnelle. Also.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Okay.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Cutting you out of here. Ja, gehen wir mal nach oben.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Ja, dann gehen wir wieder
You
zurück.
make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier, if you simply slain her like you were supposed to.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Maybe. Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
Okay.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Warte mal, warn her. Just warn her.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Was ist?
The blade. Move the blade.
Nein! Ich werde das Spiel nicht
You're
spielen.
doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Oh nö.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
Warum habe ich so eine komische Hand?
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Ja, es war auf jeden Fall okay. Chapter 2, The Prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Ja, und
If
hier
you
geht es
don't-
wieder weiter, von vorne. Und man kann wieder das Ganze hier... Ne? Oh, hier geht's nämlich los. I'm getting a terrible sense of déjà vu. Wait, does that happened? But I died! What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a
Voice
word
of
out
the
of his
skeptic.
mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess.
Das ist ziemlich
We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Junge, das ist mir aber sehr meta jetzt. Genau, why should I listen to you?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
I'm a professional.
Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
But they did.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Oh, yeah.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts.
Let's talk about this princess. Yeah.
Just be quick about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her. And all she did was slit my throat. How is she supposed to end the world?
She just can.
Believe me.
Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets. You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth." That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side. You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Ja, warum muss ich das machen?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
My mama told me.
Yes, right. We're here because we're special. Look, You're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
You being cagey,
I've told
bro.
you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Ja, aber wie? Turn around and leave? Nein. Wir gehen jetzt mal zur Cabin. in the
A
woods.
warning before you go any further.
What?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Ja, proceed to the cabin. So, ich will jetzt mal eine kurze Raucherpause nehmen.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron
sehr geil.
bars
Das ist
barricade
völlig
the
anders.
windows, reminding anyone who enters
I
that
love
this is a prison.
Das ist a prison. Ich meine, ich nehme das Schwert wieder mit, oder?
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
So, you didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. So, cabin is different than last time. It is. Take the blade. No.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought?
Multiverse.
Maybe
of
you haven't actually been here
princesses.
before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor
Wir
details.
werden geklont. We are the clone army against the princess. So, wir gucken uns hier gleich nochmal um. Ich muss mal kurz austreten. Bis in 5 Minuten. jetzt schauen wir uns nochmal hier richtig schön um. Ne? Das Crouch the Mirror. Take the Blade. Das machen wir erstmal noch nicht.
He definitely did not. Does the mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should.
So,
There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
der sieht das nicht.
There's definitely a mirror.
Der sieht das nicht. Oh,
There isn't. I think you know what we have to do.
Remain silent. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Why would you lie about that? What's the point? I want you to look at myself. What the fuck? Okay. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Das ist aber cool.
This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand
Junge.
against the cabin wall. I hope you know how
Whiplash.
ridiculous you look right now.
Oder weiß ich nicht, ja.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone.
Let's go.
If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Ja, ich nehme dann.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps.
Male
If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Ich finde es bisher sehr interessant. Sehr, sehr interessant.
Her voice,
Interessanter als
harsh
Stanley
but
Parable
controlled,
und das fand ich
carries
schon
up the
wirklich gut.
stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
Maybe.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains
schon wieder
binding
viel
both her
fester
wrists to the
angebunden.
far wall, joining the
Bedeutet,
metallic
dass,
chorus as she adjusts her
Narrator immer
hands in her
wieder
lap.
versucht, es zu schaffen, dass man sie umbringt. Dass es immer leichter für uns wird, dass sie sich nicht mehr bewegen kann vielleicht. Das habe ich nämlich das letzte Mal, war das Problem, glaube ich, dass sie sich irgendwie frei gemacht hat noch. Und dann hat sie mir die
So
Waffe
much for
abgenommen.
cutting her out of here.
Also beim
You
allerersten.
hear yourself right now. Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
Ja.
That was there last time too, wasn't it? It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Leave the... Oh, jetzt ist natürlich die Frage. Das ist natürlich jetzt... Könnt ihr direkt auf Slay the Princess gehen? Weil sie ja jetzt diesmal ein bisschen mehr angekettet ist. Oder wieder weitermachen. Ich würde fast jetzt das machen, um einfach mal zu sehen, was passiert.
Without a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess, your blade primed to deliver a lethal strike.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
Ja, eben. Also wird wahrscheinlich das gleiche passieren. Was ich schon mal...
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists.
Oh...
In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Drop it, or you die.
thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just listen to her. Do what she says. How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
Ja, eben. Drop it, slay.
You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart.
Did it? I did it? Oh.
The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge.
Yeah, I did.
Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
Ja, dann.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
Oh.
I don't like this.
Okay.
It was too easy.
Ganz genau.
It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now. You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises? It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here. Fine, but if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
Oh, das ist nicht gut.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here. The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows. But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Like hell it is.
Okay. That's out of here. I'm pretty okay with this. No, I'm not. Better ending for saving the world. Let us out of here.
What's done
bitch.
is done. And there's no going back now. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Slay yourself. This is maybe a good option. I don't know. Erstmal sagen wir sind happy.
But we're not happy. He's just telling us that we are. I can tell you for a fact that I'm extremely unhappy right now. Yeah, what he said. We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over. He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Das ist wirklich super.
You
Ja,
goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose? Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want? I don't have to answer that. That's all we needed to hear. You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Right.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Chapter 3, The Grave. So, da habe ich mir jetzt wieder ein kurzes Päuschen verdient.
You're on a path in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place. There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling. That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2? It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions. The last time we were here, you were in full-blown denial about the possibility of us restarting. What changed? Have you just been pretending to forget? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first, so you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived? Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy. We weren't. We were bored. You were bored? I was just unhappy. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything. How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead. Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out. We should go see her.
Okay, ja, wir machen jetzt eine ganz kurze Pause, vielleicht eine längere. Und dann bin ich gleich wieder da mit einem sehr, sehr interessanten Spiel. Hier gibt es sehr, sehr viele Möglichkeiten. Und die werden wir gleich alle probieren. Denn ich finde es bisher sehr interessant und möchte wissen, wie es weitergeht. Also bis gleich. So. Ja, schauen wir mal weiter. It wasn't raining the last time. The whole path is different. Ganz genau. We haven't talked enough about how different this place is. Yeah, let's go. We don't go to the cabin.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so... And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Oh, come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know? No. Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Voice of the Cold ist bis jetzt der beste auf jeden Fall. Sehr, sehr cool. Sehr, sehr cool. Turn around and leave.
She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens.
Ja, aber ich möchte auch nicht unsterblich in einer...
We already know he wants us to slay her. Anything he says is tainted by his motivations. Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just do the same thing again. That would be boring.
Ja, so. Ab zur Kabine.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just... don't muck it up this time, alright? What we do is entirely up to us. And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right?
That's right, bro.
You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world. Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important. Is it? Yes. I think. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real. Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else? Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await. As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her? It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door, it's just that damn mirror again. Yes, the mirror that he can't see. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
There's no
If
door.
this is anything like last time, the mirror will disappear as soon as we try and touch it. I'm sure the door is just behind it. You're clearly hallucinating, but I'd rather not get into it with you right now. The door to the basement is on the far side of the room, whether you can see it or not. You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's still so hazy. We should try and clean it off. Yes. Trying to touch it does seem to be the magic spell to get it out of our way. Maybe it won't disappear this time and we'll finally get a good look at ourselves. We should explore every option. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. No way left to go but down. The door to the basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
I'm sorry about last time. Are we good? Just a prank, bro.
You receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed. She doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying if we want to be a little more death neutral, Seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
Ja, das ist gut. Ne? Window, do not bag. Rush for the blade. Rush to the door. Wait. Genau das hier. I only killed you after you killed me first. We're even now. We don't need to do this again.
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is... Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it?
The water's rising.
It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
Let me out. I'm going to drown. I don't want this. Ja, richtig. Moment. Ich werde jetzt einfach begging. I'm begging you, I'll do anything, just don't let me drown. Pathetic. Yeah, maybe.
The water is rising faster now. It's flowing in from some unseen place, and judging by the height of the algae on the stairs, it has no intention of stopping anytime soon. You feel it creeping up your back, so cold that it steals the very warmth from your flesh, leaving a smothering numbness in its place. Are you really just going to stand there and let yourself die? Yeah, let's think. Where is it coming from? It's coming from some unseen place. Does it really matter where it's coming from? Because I can feel it rising. I don't think we have much time to sleuth. Yes, it matters. Maybe we can find a way out. Maybe we can figure out a way to make this work. This is just a puzzle. We can solve it. Some things aren't puzzles to be solved. Sometimes you're doomed from the start. Most people are. Yes, most people are doomed. But in case you need reminding, everyone will be doomed forever unless you stop her.
Tja. Rush for the blade, rush to the door. Also ich schätze mal, wenn ich jetzt noch einmal eines von den Explorer-Dingern nehme, dann sterbe ich durch Ertrinken. Also rush to the door. Weil for the blade wäre zu aggro, also wir versuchen einfach zu fliehen.
The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps.
Ja, das habe ich gefühlt.
The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out. It's so dark and cold, I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this? Just keep breathing, we'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle. You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness. I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix.
And there's not a lot we can do about the present either, not unless we think like we should have been doing all along.
But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same way mine filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
Ja.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? He is. Does that mean the world ended?
It must have. Do any of us know what the world ending is supposed to look like?
He was never going to outlast us. I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Yeah, bro.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
You're right.
Ignore the cowards.
Gaze into your reflection. I'm the monster now. So, proceed to the cabin. Okay, das ist ja wirklich cool. Mal ganz kurz hier. Kleinen Speicherpunkt. Ich würde sagen, dass ich jetzt mal ganz kurz auch was essen muss. Und ähnliches. Ich mache mal eine kurze Pause und dann sind wir gleich wieder dabei, weil das ist wirklich, wirklich cool. I like this shit. Also bleiben wir weiter online. Wir bleiben weiter hier im Stream und sehen uns gleich wieder. Später auf YouTube auch. Muah. So, proceed to the cabin. Ja. Off we go. Who is this? You are at the cabin. Ja. Was ist das eigentlich alles? Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections, a dim and nascent network. I think that you are like me. We are oceans reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of the fragile vessel.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Ja, eben eine dumme Frage.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is guarded sorrow. She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. She will make for a deep heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally been heard. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Attack the entity, destroy your body. Okay. Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Maybe not. Destroy your body. Attack the entity. Ich glaube nicht, dass man dieses Wesen angreifen sollte. Ich habe noch nicht mal irgendwie ein Schwert. Let her out of here.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Ja, gut. You know about the worlds beyond this place.
I know only that they are. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Destroy your body ist natürlich auch so eine Sache, ne? Aber die angreifen. What happens now? Yeah.
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
Ja.
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Okay.
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Achso, also können wir jetzt auch nicht mehr... Okay. How much will I forget?
Everything. Until we.
Oh, das ist natürlich sehr viel.
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Ja, okay. I'm not going back. Ja, ich meine, das ist jetzt stupid. Wahrscheinlich. Ich mach das jetzt so.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Ja, wir warten jetzt einfach mal. Wait forever. Yeah, we'll wait forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Wait, what?
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Das ist großartiger Scheiß. Das war jetzt wirklich großartiger Scheiß. Dass das Spiel praktisch ausgeht, wenn man auf diese Option geht, dass man eine Ewigkeit jetzt hier warten will. Wow, das ist wirklich abgefahren. Das ist wirklich so meta. Make me forget, das ist die einzige Möglichkeit.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Oh my god, this was awesome. Awesome.
You won't.
And you die. Again. Hero and the Princess. Das heißt, wir
You're
fangen
on
wieder
a
ganz
path
von
in
vorne
the
an.
woods, and at the end of that path is
Oh,
a
come
cabin,
on. Man.
and in the basement of that cabin,
It's the princess.
You're here
yeah,
to
no,
slay-
to slay her. No, you can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab at your keyboards. Oh, R1, yeah, or maybe just, yeah, whatever. So, das ist natürlich jetzt, boah, was, ja, letztendlich machen wir jetzt einmal Turn Around and Leave.
seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I
Okay, ne, das
suppose
habe
you
ich auch
just
schon mal gemacht.
quietly continue down the path away from good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash on. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Ja, das ist auf jeden Fall, das bringt nichts, weil wir kommen immer
That's
am Ende
strange.
hier raus, ja.
It looks like this path.
Ja, convenient. Leave again. Okay, das ist natürlich jetzt interesting.
That's great to hear. As long as you bring that fiery attitude to princess slaying, I think this will all resolve splendidly. A warning. Before you go any she will laugh.
Ja, das ist ja immer das Gleiche. Jetzt müssen wir einfach nur die Sachen
The interior of the blade. You take the blade from the... She sounds... Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's so
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are.
Ja.
Are you here to kill me or something? That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife.
She's right, we should. Don't you dare. It's fine.
Thank you.
I don't know what you're
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Oh, have you decided?
You
Ja, ich meine,
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't...
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier, and if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all... Oh, for the love of...
Good. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
You're making a huge... No. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains, binding. They're large and heavy. Far too...
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's doubtful.
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of...
She speaks with almost... If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant. You attempt to make your way... Is someone else... You make it easier for... Easier.
I heard the knife.
You cut. She does. How?
They-
No, we won't have... Wait, watch me.
ja, ey, ist doch jetzt scheiße, Alter.
Stop that.
I thought this was...
Your body lunges. Stop it.
Ich kann nicht mehr resisten, ey. Oh. Beim zweiten Mal geht's nicht. Das ist ja scheiße.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat. The blade sinks, but she's ready for it. You drop the blade. She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker.
Shattering haymaker.
There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now. Adrenaline coursing through your system. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arm. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could pot. It can't just end like... I'm sorry. Everything goes dark,
And you die.
and you die.
So, das war Tower.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to sleep.
Ja, ist ja halt scheiße, ne? Irgendwo muss ich ja was anderes machen. Aber ich glaube nicht den zweiten Akt.
Again? People don't die twice. If he doesn't remember what happened, you know I can hear. What does it matter? Let's say for a moment you died, and if it just... Oh, she will lie. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Nein, ich glaube, das ist die beste Idee.
I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
The broken one. Broken Matt Hardy.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Okay.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
So fucking new.
Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Offensichtlich.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a... You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. What are you talking about? You reach forward and... We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Na dann.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Ja, das ist super, super cool.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Ja, das ist ein guter Zeitpunkt, hier kurz. Alright, yeah. So, ich werde jetzt nochmal kurz eine Augen und dann spielen wir weiter. Das ist fantastisch.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
Audacity.
Drop it.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
Oh, das ist hier praktisch the White Queen. Ne?
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Was ein Simp, ey.
Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
About what?
The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak!
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
Submitting?
Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants.
No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer. You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To defy me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance.
In radiance, we might find victory.
Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
End this.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Okay. Yeah, we try to slay the princess.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy.
but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson.
Maybe.
Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't.
As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird, thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Slay the fucking princess.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess,
so badass.
even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps. Or a pet.
Well, that's the meaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Oh, das ist ja wirklich schön. Yours. Oh ja. Ich meine, wie kann man dem widerstehen? Ich weiß nicht. I said no. Warum kann ich das nicht mehr irgendwann? Ich habe nur irgendwas nicht freigeschaltet. Das heißt, auch das wird nochmal passieren alles. Oh, ich würde ja jetzt... Das ist ja wirklich scheiße. Weil bis ich da wieder hinkomme, dauert das ja voll lange. Dann mache ich das erstmal.
That's right. I can feel your heart opening to me.
Of course.
And there's what you've been chasing. The motivation that dragged you across the floor, bleeding and choking. I am destined to destroy the world. Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart, as if it's a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for us to seize my destiny.
Yes.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
Oh, das ist jetzt aber... Ne?
A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine. Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade.
All you need to do is believe it's been done.
I don't care. Break the chains.
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
Again.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
Yes, waifu. What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Take her hand. Okay. But you do not take her hand. No, will you ever? It's time to leave.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. I don't want to look at us. Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. No mercy.
You approach the mirror, gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward, still gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. Need to see what's next. And it's the same motherfucker again. You've grown. Did I? Long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. And there she is again. You're at the cabin. Approach her. Yes. And
Flickering
she
lights
is
in empty
creepy as
cityscapes
always.
become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Okay. How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Oh boy.
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together.
Ich weiß. Ich finde das
It
jetzt...
feels correct.
What?
This is what I need to be.
Ich verstehe, was das Spiel jetzt will. Wir müssen jetzt hier alles exploren eigentlich. I'm ready to go back. Attack the Entity habe ich noch nicht gemacht. Will ich immer noch nicht machen. Aber das jetzt alles exploren, feels like a riddle. Okay. Ja, ehrlich, alles was sie sagt, macht null Sinn. Können sie noch verschwommener reden? Ja. Can you give me a straight answer?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
Das ist eine super Idee.
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
Ja, das ist es halt. Ich arbeite jetzt für sie. Genau. Am Ende bin ich der...
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
Maybe. Alles ist möglich. Das ist wirklich wie im wahren Leben. You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Why?
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Oh, das ist sehr philosophisch alles. Sehr, sehr philosophisch. How many more vessels do I need to bring you? Genau.
If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. The task of finding my vessels is your burden to carry.
I'm charmed.
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was.
Oh Gott.
I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed.
Ja, genau.
But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Makes sense.
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Ja, das war jetzt das Spiel praktisch erklärt. Genau das hier.
This one is Dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory. The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you back.
Destroy your body. Ja, das ist ja auch gut.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Your Honor, you're here to slay.
Naja.
You make your way up the short. We're not going to go through. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking. The interior of the blade. The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice
Hello?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
I'm here to save you. Yeah. I don't lie. Puppet get along. Ach so. Ah, okay.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone...
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end. You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Ja, mag sein. Das ist es ja. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob der Narrator am Ende wirklich der ist, mit dem man trauen kann. Oder nicht. Oder ist es egal.
No, you're doing the right thing.
Oder bin ich der Hero? Ah.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Vielleicht doch jetzt. Also die sieht jetzt nicht so aus, als ob wir ihr den Arm abschneiden wie am Anfang. Ich gehe jetzt nochmal.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way. Is someone else here?
Okay, also ist gut.
You try the door.
It's locked. Okay.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
Ja. Wie können wir
She
das-
barely hesitates
Oh
before
my
raising her arm to her
goodness.
mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
Klöng.
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
It's now.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Oh, ich kann nur saven. Aha.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, you cut into her
Ja,
flesh.
das ist ja genau
The blade
das
is
Gleiche wie
sharp,
vorher.
and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Of course.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches... Wait, watch me.
Das war jetzt schon...
What are you doing?
Oh, diesmal dreht sie sich vor. Warn her. Ja, still.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Was ist...
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
Oh, der Narrator wird langsam ziemlich illegal.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
Tja, schade. Aber trotzdem, wir sind weiter. The Damsel, das ist auch wieder neu.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay.
Ja.
A warning before she will lie. If only you... Excuse me? Forget he said, but he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love.
The voice of the smitten.
Last time? What are you talking about? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Wieder ein neues. Dafür ist wirklich Multi-Charakter.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
Ja.
You take the I suppose, hopefully it doesn't put her on edge. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Ja, gehen wir nochmal zum.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. What are you talking? You reach forward. There was a mirror, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place. The door to the basement creaks open, but it's still a soft...
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you? That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done.
Ja.
What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world. But everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Ja, ich meine, das ist jetzt schon ein bisschen übertrieben. Das möchte ich jetzt auch nicht.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
You died, and now we're talking. I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
Ja, ganz genau.
She took that in stride.
Hat sich Mühe
To a
gegeben.
surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Rescue. Ja.
No.
Ja.
I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll... Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
What you want? There must be something you want. Want to enter the world? The princess, okay. Das kann man immer noch Oh, das ist ja übel.
I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
I just want to make you happy.
Is she broken?
Das ist ja
What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
Oh my God, what the fuck? Also ich könnte sie jetzt... Ich mache das einmal noch.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy, I can make you unhappy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this is... I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
That sounds perfect.
Oh, phew. She's back to normal. Normal? What are you talking about? Our angel has always been like this. Absolutely. As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no, did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Well, I don't know. Do you think I can?
Of course she can. You believe in her, right? Nobody is leaving this basement.
Okay, let me try.
The princess tries the handle and... lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you she could do it. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
And the world.
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Da ist die nächste weg. But you don't get a chance to make that jacket. Nobody ever. It's time for it to leave. No returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? And is that a mirror? Why is...
Yeah, the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels... Yes.
No, doesn't go there. Das sieht wohl klar aus. So, dann machen wir jetzt nochmal kurzen Save. Und gehen wir mal rauf. Bis gleich. So, dann gehen wir jetzt nochmal zu dieser wunderschönen Frau.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
Tja, we have to go back. Oder wir machen jetzt einmal Attack the Entity. Machen wir noch nicht. Destroy your body.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
Okay. Also, das ist das Beste. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here
Okay,
when it is time for us to meet again.
Wir gucken nochmal, nachdem wir wieder gestorben sind. Ja, sind wir wieder Chapter 1.
You're on a path.
Und es gibt immer wieder von vorne los. Und dann machen wir jetzt hier.
You make your way
erstmal
up
den
the
Cut,
short path to the cabin.
denn,
You'll find the princess
ja, dann geht es
within.
dann irgendwann weiter demnächst. Vielleicht mache ich auch noch ein Best-of draus.
We're not gonna.
Das sehen wir nochmal. Das.
Ignore him. He doesn't know.
Bla bla bla. Nochmal hier rein.
The interior of the cab.
Ja, take the blade. So. Okay. Nochmal saven. Boom. Boom. Und dann machen wir hier dann weiter irgendwann. Vielen Dank für das teilweise Zuschauen. Ich muss noch ein paar Dinge erledigen, die mir eingefallen sind. Und bis demnächst. Bye bye.